Let's see how the Eagles can do it here. Down by 10. Digging a hole early. Queenan wins the tap over to Wise.
He go up for the shot, won't go. Ball's knocked out of bounds. It's going to be Wiliamsport ball. All right, Pete White with the ball. Over to Graves. Also on the court, Pagano, Cherba, and number 21, Scott Peterson. Graves almost travels with the ball. Stan Hedrick goes for the steal, won't go to Pagano. Basket's good. So 2 points for Dan Pagano, number 35, and it's 24-12.
And a nice pick that time set by Mark Graves that freed Pagano.
Steve Bishop in control for the Eagles. Man-to-man defense. They've got the Norristown offense spread out. Queenan's going to take the ball to the top of the key. Goes all the way in, won't go. Follow, won't go. Graves gets the rebound for Wiliamsport. Outlet pass. They go down court to Cherba, just a little bit long for him. Can't handle the pass, and Norristown will have the ball from underneath their own defensive basket. Bishop, the ball handler. Hounded by White and Graves. Up court. Going to have a foul on Steve Bishop. Graves draws the charging foul off the ball. Steve Bishop had let the ball out of his hands, charged with an offensive foul.
That's second personal foul on Bishop. Strange call. You don't see that too often. It could be caught on almost every play.
Well, Graves used his head. He was standing there in position. Bishop took his eye off of Graves to make the pass, turned around and ran right into Graves. So he'll shoot the 1-and-1.
Well, Graves and Bishop seem to be similar, that they'll run into a brick wall just about to get that foul called on them.
Graves knocks down the first one, and Norristown a little bit of trouble right here. 25-12 the score. Wiliamsport ahead with 6:58 left to go in the first half.
Might be a timeout called soon here by John Cresswell.
And Graves misses the second one, rebound by Wayne Wise. Eagles have got to get some points on the board. It's what they have to do. Foul's going to be on Graves that time, hounding Stan Hadrick, reaching in.
Personal foul, number 40, Mark Graves.
Blocking foul. Another substitution into the ball game, number 22, Mickey Lockwood. I'll tell you, the Millionaires are going to keep us busy tonight using 8 or 9 players. We're going to go insane here.
They've used 10 already.
That's tough on an announcer. Don't they have any respect for us trying to keep track of these fellas?
It's a good thing we have all these high-paid spotters here with us tonight.
Oh, yeah. Hadrick shooting 1-and-1, makes the first one. That's good to see.
Finally, a point from the backcourt.
And a point from someone besides Darren Queenan and Wayne Wise. 25-13 our score. Eagles trailing by 12. Of course, we'd like to thank the PIAA for allowing us to tape this ball game. Show it to the folks in Norristown. And Hadrick knocks the first one off the front of the rim, the second one off the front of the rim. Graves down court on the break, puts the shot up, and basket won't go, but there's a foul on the play.
Personal foul, number 35.
Foul's on number 35, Dan Pagana. That's his second foul. And once again, we'll go to the line shooting 1-and-1. This time, Steve Bishop. I hate to do it, but Steve Bishop is a great foul shooter. Now, as soon as I said this, he's going to miss here.
Oh, I don't know about this jinx.
Steve Bishop shooting 1-and-1. I knew it. I knew I shouldn't have said it.
You are now prohibited from mentioning that factor anymore. Graves slips.
What a play. Basket by Scott Peterson. On the break. Wiliamsport really running the break well tonight. Pass goes to Simpkins. He has not been a factor in this ball game, and there he makes the basket. Nice shot. No foul on that play.
Simpkins and Wise are going to have to assert themselves. They're keying on Queenan. He has no room in the middle, and they're going to have to relieve some of that pressure.
Nice steal by Norristown. We have a foul on the play. It's going to be on Cherba, number 41. No, it's on number 40. You're right, Alan. The foul's on Graves, number 40. Cherba was getting a little bit upset there, almost earned himself a technical foul with the officials.
Number 30, Seth Birch, returned to the line off the Wiliamsport.
Seth Birch, number 30, back in the game now.
What's his name?
Seth.
All right.
And Graves is on the bench, which is good news if you're a Norristown fan.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, Wiliamsport really doesn't lose much by their substitutions. Wayne Wise at the line now. That backcourt foul, Wayne will be shooting 1-1. And Wayne Wise has been very consistent tonight. I think he's the one Norristown Eagle that hasn't been affected by this ball game. And that's been throughout the year. Wayne Wise has lived for the pressure in the big ball games without a question. 27-16 our score, 27-17. So Norristown closes Wiliamsport's lead to 10 with 6:13 remaining in this first half.
And the thing you have to remember is 10 points. You can't get them all back at once, and you have plenty of time.
When the Coatesville-Williamsport game, Williamsport took an 11-point lead into the locker room, went into a stall tactic in the second half, and allowed Coatesville to come back. So we'll see what they do tonight. White, he's fouled. Foul's going to go on
Bishop, and that is his third.
That's not good news for Norristown. They had 3 men around Pete White that time. White able to draw the foul, so he'll shoot 1-1. This has been a very slow second quarter, a lot of fouls.
We've only played 2 minutes.
It's unbelievable. White knocks down the first one, he'll get the bonus now.
First point for White since he canned the opening basket of this game.
And he's perfect from the free throw line, so it's a 29-17 lead. Simpkins gets the ball into Bishop. Full court pressure, they're staying with it. Bishop takes it all away himself. I don't know why he gave the ball up that time.
Too fancy that time. Shouldn't have made the pass.
No, that's right. Steve Bishop should have taken the ball to the hoop that time. He had the clear lane. You know, Norristown's a very unselfish team. They're not afraid to pass, but that time should have gone with the individual shot. Nice pass to Cherba. Waits to get Darren Queen in the air. Cherba with the easy basket. 31-17, 14-point lead. Timeout, John Cresswell.
And a much-needed one as Norristown trailing here by 14. They're in trouble. Darren Queenan has not touched the ball here in the second quarter yet. And Darren only has 4 points. And this is a guy that's averaging 24 on the year and almost 25 in the playoffs. The Eagles have to get the ball into him.
Of course, Wiliamsport has been denied the past 3 years in this round, the Eastern semifinals. And the team that has beaten Williamsport has gone on to win the state championship each year. So Coach Pete White was quoted as saying he thinks the winner of this ball game is going to go on and win it all. And I'm quite impressed by Williamsport. They're an excellent ball club.
That they are.
Take a look at the Norristown bench there. Hopefully John Cresswell has some words to get his Eagles back on track in this ball game. We certainly haven't given up on them yet. We still have 5:30 remaining in the first half. But with a 14-point Williamsport lead, Norristown's got to get themselves on track offensively.
Interestingly enough, Steve Bishop's in there with what we have is 3 fouls. Frank Dobbs on the bench with 2.
Well, we'll see. Bishop being guarded by Lockwood. Lockwood got a little bit close that time with the hand checks. Blocking foul going to be called.
Bishop's going to the line, right, Jeff?
That's right. We'll see how he does this time. Missed his last free throw.
Give him that negative comment now,
We'll see if we can't get the old reverse jinx to work. There we go.
Yes, sir. Every basketball book has that reverse jinx lecture in it.
You know it. And my father always used to talk about the announcers, Phillies game, so he hasn't struck out in 40 times at bat, and he strikes out. Never fails. Announcers have got to be the cause of it. Of course, you never mentioned that a pitcher has a no-hitter going.
Whatever you say, Jeff.
Those little tales of the broadcast booth.
Anything to kill time in this slow second quarter.
31-19, Williamsport up by 12. 5:04 remaining in the first half. Lockwood back to White. Norristown 2-3 zone, keeping the ball outside. Now they've got to watch down low. There it is to Pagana. Nice move, won't go, gets his own rebound. Come on. There it is. Williamsport has not had to shoot from outside tonight. They've gotten all their baskets within 5 to 8 feet. Bishop is stuffed by Cherba. Pagano on the break with Simpkins. Simpkins, no, he's going to have a foul called against him. Didn't look like any contact at all to me, Alan.
I think it was an intimidation move. There was no contact whatsoever, and Lou Simpson is coming into this ball game now to replace Mike Simpkins. And also a surprise, number 4,
Walter
Queenan coming into here. Steve Bishop taking a seat on the bench, and Frank Dobbs still there.
Okay, it's 33-19. Wiliamsport up by 14 with 4:35 remaining in the second quarter. Yeah, that was not a foul that time. Bishop was stuffed there in the lane. He had nowhere to go with the ball, had to put it up in the air. Cherba got the block, and Pagano on the outlet took it all the way down himself. Mike Simpkins had position for the block, didn't get the block. The basket was no good, but the officials called the foul. Pagano shoots up a brick on the second one. He goes 50% from the line. It's 34-19. Largest lead of the ball game for Wiliamsport. Hadrick almost travels there, hounded by Lockwood. Gets it off to Simpson. Simpson looks for some help, goes cross court to Wayne Wise. Wise puts the ball on the floor. Outside to Hadrick. Tough man-to-man pressure. Queenan travels. Now Walter Queenan just entering the ball game. Didn't see too much playing time this year. Commits the turnover, and Norristown can ill afford many more turnovers in this half.
They're on the point of getting blown out here soon.
Jumper, it's good for Scott Peterson. 36-19. Simpson's got to get the ball inbounds. Crosses the end line. Lou Simpson with a violation. Wiliamsport ball, and Norristown is really unsettled here.
You've got the wrong. You don't have the right mixture out there on the court. First of all, Lou Simpson, you can use his bulk. I don't really understand why Walter Queenan's out there, and that's not meant to degrade him in any manner, but you go with what got you here.
Steal there by Norristown. Outlet to Queenan. Queenan can't handle the pass. Saves the ball, but Pete White comes up and some really fancy dribbling. Twice, 3 times behind the back. Takes it all the way, comes away again, but he travels. Well, he did a lot of nice behind the back moves, but he's called for the travel.
It looks pretty, but it doesn't go in the box score.
Okay, it's 3:37 left to go in the half. 19-36 our score. Eagles. Now talk about your low offensive outputs. Who'd have thought Norristown would have 19 points in this ball game? And number 22, Doc Ward's going to enter the ball game. Replace Lou Simpson.
Okay, you tell me why. Why do we have Ward and Queenan in there?
All right, what I'm going to say is John Cresswell doesn't want to get his fellas in any deeper foul trouble in this first half. He just wants to hold out till halftime, but he's got to get some points on the board. And there's Stan Hadrick with a basket.
I'll accept that. The guard line's thin as it is with Dobbs and Bishop in foul trouble.
I think he wants to be able to put the push on in the second half. Jumper, good for number 24, Rick Nicholas, his first 2 points of the ball game.
I just have 1 point, though. What good is it to have a fresh Dobbs and Bishop come back in the second half if you might be down by 25 points?
Well, what can I tell you, Alan? I'm not John Cresswell, okay? Shot out of bounds, partially blocked. You know, we don't get paid to coach. We get paid to announce. Or we don't get paid to announce, as a matter of fact. let me rescind that statement. We do this voluntarily. And Norristown loses the inbound pass. They've got a 4-on-2. Cherba puts the shot up. Be no basket. Foul on the play. Cherba will go to the line, shooting 2. 38-21. Wiliamsport ahead by 17 with 2:57. So Queenan, Wise, Queenan, Hadrick, and Ward in the ball game for Norristown.
Darren Queenan, 4 points in this game, all in the opening minutes.
That's right. And at halftime, it's going to be very interesting to look at the scoring for Wiliamsport. They have such a balanced attack. Cherba misses the free throw. Timeout, John Cresswell. Of course, each coach gets 2 timeouts per half, so you might as well use them. This year, the rule states you can't carry over timeouts into the second half. And of course, Bill Werkheiser all year has told us he doesn't care for that rule, and he hopes it's changed back next year. Tell you though, with 2:54 remaining in the first half, Norristown looks outclassed in this ball game.
Most definitely. Norristown is having done to them what they have done to so many other opponents this season.
You know, you hate to say it, we're Norristown supporters, but can't see too much good in this ball game so far.
York will play South Haven for the Eastern 1A Championship.
This is the Eastern Region semifinals, folks. Final 8 teams in the state in 4A boys basketball. Doc Ward in control for Norristown. Outside to Queenan, they go to Darren Queenan, banks it off the glass, nice play, and that's what Norristown's got to do. That was a nice play, and I'm glad to see them get the basket after the timeout. 38-23 the score.
And more importantly, it gets Darren involved in the offensive flow maybe.
Yeah, that only gives him 6 points in this ball game. Nice steal by Stan Hadrick. Hadrick goes all the way in. Oh, misses the layup. They fight for the rebound, and Wiliamsport comes away with it. Heads up play that time by Lockwood. Had Wayne Wise down there hounding him, nowhere to go, and threw the ball off of Wayne's leg out of bounds, and Wiliamsport will retain control.
Smart play by the Millionaires.
Norristown could have used a basket there off Stan Hadrick's fast break. They had nice pressure by Queenan and Ward to initiate that steal. Hadrick had it all the way and just couldn't convert the layup.
Well, they're going to have to gamble. They're going to have to press, maybe go a little man-to-man.
Almost over and back that time. Cherb almost stepped over the end line. Pardon me, the midcourt line. White, jumper from 12 feet. Basket's good, 40-23. Millionaires, 17-point lead. Gonna have a foul called. That's right, Lockwood with those hand checks. A little bit too close. I'm sorry, that foul was not on Lockwood. The foul was called on White. That's his second personal foul. Thanks, Alan.
Personal foul called on number 22, Mickey Lockwood.
Pardon me. Thank you very much, Alan. Alan Riley changed that call on me, but I had it right, folks.
It must have been the angle. I couldn't see the official's hands.
Chalk one up for Jeff Brandon. Lockwood committed that foul, and that is his second foul also.
I was close.
Yeah, see that? You gotta go with what I see, huh? Stan Hadrick misses the shot. Ward goes for the rebound and the tap, won't go. He's called for the foul, though. It's almost a nice play by Doc Ward. That's his first personal. Pardon me, that's his second personal.
Doc Ward, that's his second.
I was right on that one.
Okay.
I don't hear any credit coming your way.
Well, I hadn't glanced at the sheet. I mean, when these things happen live, you know, I can make some kind of split decision.
Oh, excuses, excuses. As Mike Simpkins checks back into the ball game, Ward taking a seat on the bench.
At the line, Jeff Cherb, shooting 1-1.
Jeff Cherb at the line, shooting 1-1. It seems like that's all we've done in this second quarter is shoot 1-1 situation free throws. And Cherba makes another one. We've done that, and we've seen the Millionaires get some nice fast breaks going and beat Norristown's defense. I think that's the key. Norristown has yet to put that pressure on. They're not creating the turnovers.
That's the truth. Norristown has not been into this game defensively throughout.
Cherba makes them both. 42-23. Millionaires ahead by 19 points, folks. 1:55 left to go in the half. It's been an interminably long second quarter. Queenan goes up with a jumper over everybody, won't go, and there's nobody in there for the rebound, but Norristown, luckily the ball kicks out. Queenan gets the ball into Simpkins. Simpkins wasn't ready for it, traveling.
Well, bad break there.
You can see Mike Simpkins wasn't ready for that quick pass from Walter Queenan, and he committed the travel before he got the basket.
And we are at the blowout stage, Jeff. It's 19 points, 42-23, and now Metzdorf checks back into the game, and Graves.
We've been about 8 minutes with Metzdorf and Graves out of the ball game. Foul on Wayne Wise.
Reaching.
Personal foul, number 15, Wayne Wise, his first. Substitution number 35.
And you know what I don't like right now? The looks on the faces of the Norristown players.
Oh, they're down on each other and themselves, but when you start criticizing your teammates, that's when you're going to have real problems because there's no way you're going to operate as a team. And you can see the frustration building up on them.
That's been the key to Norristown all year is they've played very well as a team. There is, you know, Darren Queenan obviously the star, if you want to put it that
way. And Darren
way.
right now is trying to calm Wayne Wise down too.
And Darren's success though is predicated upon how well he's fed the ball by the guards, etc. So it's always been a team offense. They missed the free throw, but the Millionaires come away with the rebound. I guess that's been about the story of this ball game. 133. They go down the middle, off the Pagano, blocked by Queenan, and a heck of a block. Darren Queenan at least trying to get his teammates incited here. Darren hasn't given up on this ball game.
This is the time, part of the game, where your really great players rise to the occasion and really come in.
Another interesting point, with all the massive substitutions that Pete White Sr. is doing from the bench at Williamsport, these guys have got to be fresh. Whereas Norristown is going to be tired out. And I think that might also be a reason why John Cresswell has some of those other players in here that you had questioned earlier. Because he doesn't want his troops as tired out as they're definitely going to be by the end of the ball game.
Yeah, but you're down by 19, and here they go into the stall.
Okay.
And they can work this to perfection, from what I understand, as Queenan's calling in for the reach-in.
Personal foul, Nick Queenan is first. Then Scott Peterson. Now in the line for Williamsport, at the line is number 12, Peter White. White shooting for 1-1.
Pete White Jr. at the line. White headed to Yale next year. He
First,
misses.
Off the front of the rim, no good. Darren Queenan with the rebound for the Eagles. They go inside to Darren. He's tied up, jump ball. Nice play by Churba.
Good play. He had all ball that time. Darren was looking for the foul, but there was no contact, really.
It's 42-23. Norristown with 11 points so far. Queenan with the lob, won't go for Simpkins. He gets his own rebound, goes up again, travels again.
43.
Seems like Pete White is just moving people in every time there's a stoppage of play, in and out. 46 seconds left to go in the first half. 42-23, Millionaires ahead by 19. What a move by Churba down to Mexdorf, and they're going to play the stall game. They don't need to score. Forcing Norristown to come out of their zone defense and pressure the ball. Nice play by White.
3
this
seconds.
is off the Mexdorf. Traveling call.
If not traveling, he was in the lane forever that time.
Norristown will bring the ball in from the far sideline. A long inbound pass to Queenan. 5 seconds. A player must touch the ball within 5 seconds. And the time that was spent before that ball was lofted into the air and the time it had to go through the air, 5 seconds had elapsed before Darren Queenan touched the ball. That's the violation. Williamsport will get the ball right back.
And
with
Queenan is
26
also
seconds.
limping. He might have twisted an ankle.
He came down hard that time. 26 seconds. Williamsport back into the stall, play for the last shot. Queenan comes outside. Graves has the ball.
That's what you have to do. You have to come man to man to get him out of that stall. Try to force something.
10 seconds. Now they want to work for a shot. Lockwood back to White. 7 seconds. He realizes he's got to get his offense on track. Oh, Queenan goes up for the steal. Mexdorf gets it. Basket's good. That's the end of the first half. Our score, 44-23. Williamsport ahead by 21 points.
Well, we're here at halftime. The Eastern semifinals, excuse me. Norristown down 44-23 to a very, very good Williamsport squad. And Jeff, without a doubt, we can say that we saw the worst half of Norristown basketball this season. Norristown came out here tight. They were intimidated by the crowd, and it obviously shows in the box score.
All right, I think that's a fair appraisal. They have not played well. That's all. There's no question about it. Williamsport has dominated. I think dominated the ball game in every aspect. They're playing good defense. They're not allowing Norristown to set up at all offensively. Norristown all year has been a run and break ball club. They haven't been able to do that tonight. They haven't been able to set up their break with the good defensive plays. Williamsport has repeatedly beaten the Norristown press, and they're getting easy baskets.
You know, I want to point out something right this second. Norristown is coming out on the floor. as we're getting ready to start the second half. And they're coming out, no excitement, no emotion, flat. And that's how they came out in the beginning of this game, the same exact way, except then it was due to nervous tension. Now it's due that you're looking at the scoreboard and you're 21 points down. A couple other things we have to look at. Wiliamsport substituted. They have 8 men in the scoring column. Extremely balanced scoring. Some of their best players didn't play most of the second quarter. They also have played 10 people. Coach Pete White Sr. is substituting and shuffling people in there 2 at a time at each break.
That's right. His team is well rested. I'd say each player has played on the average 6 minutes to 7 minutes in this ball game. They've got to be extremely fresh. As we said, John Cresswell had Frank Dobbs and he had Steve Bishop on the bench for a while. Mike Simpkins also. Maybe those players will be a little bit fresh, but when you're 12 points down, that's one thing. When you're 21 points down coming into a half of basketball, that's kind of a tough deficit to make up in any kind of a ball game, especially high school ball.
We were talking before we went on. Sure, Dobbs had 2 fouls early in this game. Bishop picked up his 3rd. That's why Queenan was in there, and Ward was in there, and Simpson. And I didn't mean to say anything derogatory, but you have to look at it. What good is it to have these guys come back in low foul situations and rested in the second half if you already dug yourself the grave? It's hard to climb out. Maybe Norristown has a chance. You can never write off a team, especially in high school sports.
Sure.
They could come out here and really surprise us. I kind of doubt it going into this second half, though.
Yeah, it's going to be extremely difficult for them. They're going to have to play super basketball. There's no question.
And Darren Queenan is going to have to rise to the occasion, but he can only do that if the guards get him the ball.
That's right. The guards have just not been a factor for Norristown. To take a look at the scoring, Darren Queenan has 6 points in this ball game. That's from a guy who's averaging 23.9 points a ball game. Wayne Wise leads the Eagles scorers with 10 points. He kept them in it in the first quarter. He wasn't a factor in the second quarter. I don't think anyone was a factor for Norristown in the second quarter. From the guard position, we have Stan Hadrick with 3 points, Steve Bishop with 2, Frank Dobbs not a point in this ball game. The other scorer for Norristown, Michael Simpkins with 2 points. For a 23-point total for a half of basketball, that's not Norristown high.
Well, let's look at it this way before summing up. In that second quarter, Norristown was outscored by a 22-9 margin, and that's about all
22 to 11.
22 to 11 margin. I can't even add now. But hey, well, they've got one more half. They just have to remember you can't do it all at once. So let's go back down the court side, and we'll pick up that second half action.